So, because of my past, it makes things difficult even in my present. That's not gonna stay. It's hard to explain to the person you're with that your reactions to things have nothing to do with them. It has to do with your past. Not with when I was 15 and raped, but when I was 22? No, between 19 and 21. Or was I still 18 to 21? I think it already turned 19 and was a little bit into my 21. I was with a guy who was abusive in every way except for sexually, mentally, verbally, physically. He would get mad, he would raise his voice, and with a raised voice came a raised hand, fist. I might have already said some of this on others, but years later, I'm 33 now. I got with my husband 10 years ago. I had already had my 24th birthday, so I guess it's not quite been 10 years yet. And he will raise his voice at times for either my daughter and I are arguing and he says, "Hey, knock it off." The dogs are barking loud and he says, "Hey, stop barking." He and I disagree on something and I'm getting loud, like, "Nuh-uh, nuh-uh," and he goes, "Would you please stop so I can explain?" You know, he's never mean about his yelling. He just raises his voice to get his point across at times. But to me, I still flinch. Hi, puppy. So for me, raised voice comes with a raised fist. And it makes it pretty difficult at times. But what makes it more difficult is dogs getting in my film. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Thanks. Anyway, what makes it more difficult is feeling like I can't express myself. They say that when you go through a trauma, your brain age is stunted, and I feel like that might be true because there's a lot of times I still act like a teenager when it comes to expressing myself or fear of expressing myself and holding things in. One big example of that is I once or twice will say what I want in something, like I like my husband to tell me I'm beautiful. I would like my husband to, you know, whistle at me, smack my butt when I walk past. If no one else is around and we're at home, grab my boob. Something that lets me know that he thinks I'm attractive. Especially after 10 years of being together, it feels like he could care less about being intimate or even noticing that I'm there, let alone that I have a figure that should be attractive to him. He married me. Another hard thing, which kind of stems back to when I was 15, is when my husband and I are intimate, he always, you know, checks in. He's like, "Is this okay?" You know, after he knows what things are okay and aren't okay, then he doesn't ask all the time, but things that I say sometimes and sometimes not, he'll check on those. But for the most part, even if he asks, I don't want to say no, because obviously he wants to try that. He wants to, you know, do something different or something he likes that I don't always like, but it's not traumatizing to me. So there's times that, you know, we'll do stuff, and then after it's all said and done, maybe even a day later, I usually don't even do it same day. Sometimes I do, but not like all the time. And I'll say, oh, that was really good. If we could do that, keep that in mind for other times. He's like, well, you could have told me right as it was happening or right after, you know, that'd be kind of helpful so I could remember exactly what was going on. And then there's the, so remember when we did this, or when you tried that, or whatever. I was trying not to cry because I didn't want to ruin the moment for you. And he just busts out, like, so sad and so upset. Like, why wouldn't you tell me? Why didn't you make me stop? Why? I couldn't see that because of this, that, and that. Why? I don't want to ever make you feel uncomfortable. I don't want to ever make you feel, you know, this, that, the other. And he keeps telling me, tell me right away. I'm okay with changing what's going on. I don't have to continue anything. Don't ever put yourself in an uncomfortable position for me. And I know that about him, and I know I have the right to say that, but I just don't. In the moment, my brain like shuts down whenever something's uncomfortable, and I just wait for it to be over. And then later I can be like, okay, this is him. He's the sweetest, kindest, most affectionate, well, not affectionate anymore really, but you know, he's always about others. He's always wanting to make sure that others are comfortable, feel safe, feel heard, feel seen, except for when it comes to, I don't feel like he sees me as an attractive person anymore, but he always wants to make sure that I'm safe and everything. And so I know I can tell him, but in the moment, my brain won't let me. So later I'll tell him, I'll be like, okay, that thing that we did, I don't want that done again. This thing that we did, I think we should discuss before we do it again, because we'll have to check what mood I'm in, because it didn't feel bad, but it was unexpected and I didn't really get the enjoyment out of it. So maybe we could try later if it's in a different situation, you know, things like that, which you're supposed to be able to discuss with your partner. But I feel like saying something in the moment would like ruin the moment, and then we're just thinking, well, what about this? What about that? Well, what are they thinking right now? What are they thinking? And then we're like not in the moment. So I never say anything during the moment. And that's probably something a lot of people that have been through abusive stuff go through. My daughter did a science assignment thing about suicide, and I had let her know I've had 2 different attempts in my life, and she asked if she could share that story, and I said, yes, you can put that in your report. And I wanted to read the report when she was done with it and got to take it home, so I did. And I saw one thing I didn't know is people who have had suicide attempts tend to, generally speaking, struggle with holding down a job and being unemployed. And I've always had that struggle. I think the longest job I've had was 2 years. Shortest job I've had, I mean, there's one that I went one day and then I was like, I'm not going back. Other than that, there was one that was 3 months and then I stopped. Okay, sweet girl, I know. You're warning me that someone's outside, but it's okay. Other than that, Tully, a lot of them are about 6 months that I last, and then for some reason or another, either I quit or I stopped caring and end up getting fired. And I never would have connected that to my mental state having changed because of traumas and suicide attempts and all that. So I always feel like a failure because I'm not working right now. I'm trying to get on disability because of my fibromyalgia, my brain fog, my mental state, just, I can't, it never works, so I feel defeated, like, why even bother trying again, because no matter what I do, it'll be 6 months to a year, and then I won't be working there, so, and, I didn't think that each time I would get a job, I'm like, okay, this is it, this is the one I'm making a career out of, this is the one that's going to get me through to retirement, so it's not like I went in with an attitude of, I'm gonna fail. But I feel that now, like, why even try to apply for a job when I know it's not gonna last? So then, he's going through a lot of troubles and struggles of health issues where he shouldn't be working because his health is bad enough. He could be on disability, he could be, who knows what, but he has that drive that he's not going to give up. He's going to work, and he'll even do 2 jobs if he has to. And we're starting to get tight on money because I am really bad at knowing what to spend money on and what not, and I tend to go over the budget, and then I feel guilty. So it's been, I don't even know how long since we've been intimate, and I've been feeling neglected. And then our daughter is starting driver's ed, and in sports and orchestra, and it's becoming summertime, so all these things cost money, and she has a pet that needs to be on special meds and food. Her cat, our dog, needs to be on special food as well, and meds. Would you stop? No growling. No growling. Thank you. Yeah. Oh. So we were going over the bank account last night, and it's stressing him out. She's got her foot going. I love it. And, that stresses me out because I'm the one who's not bringing money in, but I'm taking money out. And it just, no growling. It makes me feel bad that not only am I causing more stress, really, more stress on him, but then I feel like he's neglecting me. I feel like he's not paying any attention to me, not noticing me as a woman. And it's this vicious cycle of, well, one thing that used to make me feel like I was at least in control of something was when I would self-harm, but he said if he ever found any cut marks on me, he would leave me, because he is not okay with that, and he wouldn't put up with that. And so now I feel like I'm stuck. I can't do anything. No matter what I do, I'm in the wrong. I just need to suffer in silence. But the more I feel like I'm suffering in silence, the more I want to do something about it. And I think my dog knows what I'm saying, because she's giving me the face of, I love you. Don't leave me. Don't feel sad. You've got me to keep you in happy days. Do you see that happy face? You are such a happy girl. With concerned eyes. You're a good dog. Life just sucks. It does not get better when you get older. They always think, well, I'm just in my teenage years, so if I can get over being a teenager, once I'm an adult, things will be easier. It's not. Best time of life is before school starts. From newborn to 5 years old. After that, you're just gonna get more and more stressed every year, have more and more reasons to cry, and have doubts, and just feel alone, even with a house full of people and animals, a community full of people. You've got close friends, lots of family. But you can't burden them with this kind of stuff. They don't understand. Even if they've been through the same thing, their body reacts differently. Their mind reacts differently. It's stupid and it sucks. Oh well, c'est la vie, that is life.